Hello, my name is Douglas Reed, and this is Time in Nature and Effects on Cognitive Ability. The purpose of this presentation is to discuss whether spending time in nature really has a positive effect on one's mental health, and is that effect enough to improve cognitive function. We'll also be spending time discussing and highlighting a self-directed research study that I conducted on Montreat College campus. Some key definitions you'll want to know. Urban environments. Urban environments are areas which are densely populated and possess the characteristics of man-made surroundings. So think of big cities, buildings, concrete sidewalks, roads, cars, things that emphasize structures built by men versus a natural environmental setting. Think anything made by God. So forests, fields, lakes, rivers, streams, the sky, clouds. Cognitive function. Brain-based skills which are needed in acquisition of knowledge, manipulation of information, and reasoning. Attention restoration theory. Attention restoration theory, also known as ART, is a theory that people can concentrate better after spending time in nature, or even looking at scenes depicting natural environments. So, what does the literature say? Well, we know that cognition is very crucial and significantly dictates how people perform various activities, especially where knowledge application is required. Cognition usually includes different knowledge elements which people possess regarding their environment, attitudes, and behavior. Noted by Cooper, 2001. The available research indicates that there's a correlation between time spent in nature and development of cognition abilities. So spending time and interacting with the natural environment has been established to be beneficial. This outcome is created due to the activation of nature stimuli, which in turn influences the reception and processing of information, as noted by Stenfrost in 2019. Stenfrost established that there is significant time and nature interactions, whereby the performance of cognitive activities significantly increase after nature interactions as compared with other environments within an urban setting. Cognition declines in urban environments associated with fatigue. After the interaction with nature, there's a positive cognitive performance development. Now, there's consistent comparison of cognitive ability effects on time and nature between urban and natural environments. There's high probability of recording poor cognitive performance when time is spent in urban environments, as noted by Schertz and Berman in 2019. Therefore, the outcome confirms the findings of previous studies which links the urban environment with limited cognitive ability development. So that means that people should control or limit the amount of time they spend in urban environments and consider the green spaces or natural environments to achieve reliable cognitive abilities. Now, in contrast, we had Joan DeWitt ask the question, does attention restoration theory really hold up to scrutiny? And the answer simply is yes. They found that all the significant points of ART were supported by all of the relevant and new literature that was coming out. So, my research that I conducted, the methodology. Well, we had college students that participated in my research. They were both male and female, ages 18 to 23. And what we did was we devised a method for testing their cognitive performance in the form of sets of Sudoku puzzles. Now, if you are unfamiliar with what a Sudoku puzzle is, here's an example of one. And what one must do to complete the Sudoku puzzle is in every 9 by 9 box, in every 9 squared column, and 9 squared row, you have to input the numbers 1 through 9. And the puzzle portion is that the numbers can't be repeating. So in every square only one number can go there. So what we had our participants do was we gave them 10 minutes and 2 Sudoku puzzles, and they were told to complete as many squares as possible. And then we would later record how many they got correct. The following week, we presented them with another set of Sudoku puzzles, but before they were given the opportunity to complete them, we broke them up into 2 groups, one being our indoor group and one being our outdoor group. And they were told to take a 10-minute break, however they saw fit, but they had to be in their break location. So let's look at some of our participation data. This is what we found. Our indoor and outdoor control groups, had pretty close scores. The indoor group scored just under 21 as a mean, and the outdoor group scored just over 18. But where we see a break in their mean averages is in the experimental phase. So clearly the indoor group performed much lower than the first time around, in that their experimental mean score was just under 14 at 13.75, whereas our outdoor group performed much higher at an average mean score of 19.7. So a repeated measures analysis of variance, ANOVA, was conducted to compare these scores on a Sudoku test during time 1 and during time 2. And the means and standard deviations are presented here in this table. So we saw a pretty clear deviation in our scores. The people who were taking a 10-minute break inside performed much lower than the people that took a break outside. So we have a clear statistical significant increase in solving ability based on a break location. But why? Well, we think we know why. Because the literature tells us that being outdoors, taking time to be in natural environments, creates greater attention deficit recovery. And stress relief is created greater capacity for cognitive function, as well as focus increasing with better mental rest. It should be noted that we observed the indoor group during their 10-minute break. Majority of the participants spent their break on their cell phones. So being on a cell phone is an example of directed attention. So going from a classroom environment to a testing environment and having your attention directed and focused on your cellular device and social media did not allow our participants to maybe properly give their brains the rest that they needed to perform at a higher cognitive level. Whereas our participants who were outdoors were resting, observing nature, and did not have their attention directed at any one thing for any given moment. So what did I learn? Well, I learned that it's pretty clear. Being in nature has restorative mental benefits, from relieving stress to creating a stronger ability for one to focus, and even gives one the ability to perform to a higher ability on cognitive function tests. But not only that, I learned that man-made environments are taxing on people's minds, that just being in urban environments tends to have a negative effect on one's mental health. So what I learned is that encouraging people to spend time in nature really is good medicine. Any questions? And here are some key references. Thank you.